is saying that the aftermath of the death of Deborah seem not to be subsiding, as there's been protest in town after suspects were arrested, in connection with the mother of the lady. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. Well, we're bringing you updates with respect to Deborah Samuel's death. There were suspects that were arrested in connection to that killing, and at the moment there has been a protest today where Muslims are Muslim brethren in Sokoto have been on protest asking for the release of the young men that were arrested. As you can see, the carrying placard and all of that, and it was so intense that it took the intervention of police firing bullets, before they could disperse the protesters. I would touch two things before I now mention the last thing here. First of all, we hear one of the imams, the chief imam there in Sokoto, chief imam of Sokoto saying, release Deborah's murderers and reopen the college. He commanded. He's making a command that what's it called? The guys who were arrested must be released. The Sokoto State Chief Imam, Dr. Sheikh Mansour, has called on Nigeria police to quickly release those arrested over the gruesome murder of Deborah. The Imam also called for the immediate reopening of the Shehu Shagari College of Education where the incident happened, as Sokoto residents plan mass protests, which they have carried out over police arrest of suspected killers of a female student, claim suspects were defending Islam. And so that is why they must be released. We also had got reactions from though naturally not want to have considered the reactions from that young man, the son-in-law to Aliko Dangote, who has said that blasphemy is not accepted in Islam, and death is the penalty. In a way, it didn't come out directly to say that they should have killed her, but then on the other hand, he is not saying that killing her was bad, and so we have a mixed reaction there. But presently, the Kaduna state government had declared 24-hour curfew as everything became rowdy, or things are becoming rowdy in the state, and they had to do the needful by declaring a curfew. Yes, let's see the statement of the governor with respect to the curfew that was being declared. One would have expected that these people would have, understood the gravity of what has happened, but it seems like nobody seemed to be bothered about what has happened. Quite a number of reactions. You wonder why people are calling for separate, why we have lots of separatists and all of that, people calling for separation and all of that. I think these are reasons why we've had such things repeating itself. We've had the likes of Nnamdi Kanu, who is undergoing trial. We have the likes of Chief Sunday Adeyemo, Sunday Igboho, who also went through a lot in Benin, having been arrested and released in Benin Republic as a result of the same thing, And I think these were the things that these guys were foreseeing, that we seem not to be speaking the same language. If somebody a young lady have said something and it's taken up and a life has been lost, and there's even a protest in town to that effect, saying that they should release. I can't even imagine that the imam that was saying that. I know the police would have just looked at the man and like, Baba, you seem like you don't understand what is happening. He's commanding the police that they should release once they should release them. commanding the whoever it is commanding them. They must open the school. I beg. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwa of Sokoto State on Saturday afternoon, just not in it was not quite long, declared a 24-hour curfew in Sokoto metropolis after protests had rocked the city. According to a post on the verified Facebook page of the Sokoto State Governor, the special advisor on media and publicity to the governor, Muhammad Bello, said the decision was in pursuance of peace and order in Sokoto metropolis and the entire state. Leadership earlier reported how palpable fear enveloped Sokoto metropolis on Saturday as protesters in their hundreds trooped into the street to express their displeasure over the detention of 2 suspects arrested by the police over the killing of Deborah Yakubu, a 200-level home economics students of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, over alleged blasphemy. Major streets such as Ahmadu Bello Way, Kano Road, where banks are located, and Emir Road, Yaya Road in early hours of the day were deserted, with business places and shops closed because of the protests. However, attempts by the protesters to attack the palace of the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Sahad Abubakar III, was resisted by security men on ground. The groves of the protesters were gathered at located. Attempts by the protesters to set the St. Mary Catholic Church ablaze was also resisted by armed security personnel drafted to the area, who fired several canisters of tear gas to disperse the irate protesters. Well, I know Christians won't. Yes, we are not thought to be violent. We are not thought to be violent. So it's amazing. It's amazing where we find ourselves in this country. It's amazing. Because now it's now beginning to shift towards religious battles and all of that. Maybe that is what it has been all the while anyway. And people are not just, and we're just looking at it from different directions. But then the way it is now, it's amazing. It's amazing that people will hide under religious laws, perpetrate evil, and, it will be seen as the right thing to do. So how do we, for instance, how do we hear the other side of the story? We're only hearing one side of the story. How do we hear the other side of the story when the person that is involved has been killed? The protesters, however, succeeded in burning down a car around St. Mary Catholic Church. That's what you see in the pictures that I showed you earlier on. Well, that's happening at the moment in Kaduna, and we hope that things get